repair, and a return next season is, quote, impossible. The purple and gold got that much-needed win Saturday night, and many hope to use it as a springboard moving forward. Now, Frank Vogel is admitting the team is considering all options with their roster, including the possibility of Russ coming off the bench. But how does Russ feel about that? Shannon, how will the Lakers use Russ for the rest of this season?
Basically the same way they've been using him. Skip, he's going to start the game. I just don't see a scenario in which he comes off the bench, and you might as well just go ahead and buy him out or just go ahead and outright waive him, you know what I'm saying, Skip? Because he's not going to be amenable to that. And, you know, you hear the reports that he fought this with deference, and he's been very defiant about that role with coaches and teammates. So I don't see a scenario, Skip, in which you can bring Russ off the bench. Skip, he's shooting, for a player that's attempted at least 200 threes, he's shooting 28%. That's third worst in the NBA. He's shooting 56% in the restricted area, worst of any player with at least 6 attempts per game.
Yep.
The restricted area, guys, that's the paint. That's the paint. That's like right there in the basket. That's the restricted area. He's shooting 56%. This is what it is. And he got off to a bad start with like, hey, Skip, the sun's gonna shine. I got beautiful kids at home.
Yep.
Boom. And then, I have no expectations. Well, what expectations did you think I have? Well, we thought, we kind of thought, you probably thought you'd have a better record. And, no, I didn't think that. Really? What about the booze? Did the booze upset you? Nah, I got a wife and beautiful kids at home. They're low. Me, I've been booed at my high. My thought process, how can I stop them from doing that?
Yep.
I'm clearly not doing my job because they come there to cheer me. Clearly, I'm doing something wrong. But you know what, Skip? Hey, it ain't me.
Were you making $44 million?
No, I wasn't making $40.
Okay.
No, Skip, I'm making about $300,000, Skip. But the fact of the matter is, Skip, is that as Magic said, I think it was Saturday night, Skip, just take ownership. Guys, you know what? I'm disappointed in the way I played.
Yep.
I'm disappointed in the way the team has played. I thought we would be better. I thought I would have played better. For whatever reason, that hadn't happened. But we got 20 games. I'm going to play better. Don't become confrontational every time somebody asks. They're not trying to ask you a gotcha question. They're not. But he thinks everybody's always out to get him. For the longest time, as you mentioned in OKC, they coddled him.
They did.
They were never out to nobody was ever out to get him. As a matter of fact, even when he played bad, they gave him an excuse for why he played bad.
They did.
So now he plays bad. Y'all ain't gonna make no excuse for me? Where the excuse? I mean, for a decade plus, I've been having excuses.
Remember, in Oklahoma City, if a reporter dared to ask him a negative question after a loss, that reporter was shut down and off, right?
Right. So for me, Skip, I just don't see a situation where Russ can come off the bench.
Yep.
I see him in the exact same role, but I don't see a scenario in which he's back next year. Either he gets bought out, or you're going to have to package him in that first-round pick and move him. But you cannot bring him back.
So when Saturday night's game concluded, I thought, gee, Russ was kind of quiet tonight, like in a good way, like he was reasonably efficient because he did make 9 of 17 shots.
Yes,
okay.
you can live with that.
All right. Then I look at the box score and I say, wait a second. He had a game high, not just a Laker high, a game high 5 turnovers. And then I look harder at the fourth quarter box and I reminded myself, he had 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter.
Late in the ball game, give us a bad one.
And I give kudos to Mr. 56 points because LeBron had to overcome 3 Russ turnovers in the fourth quarter. LeBron was very good in the fourth quarter. He was very efficient in the fourth quarter. Russ was not efficient with 3
But he's not efficient at any point.
Okay, I got it. So just for the record, Russ still leads the entire NBA in turnovers by 13 over your man in Atlanta, Trae Young. By 13, he leads. To your point, we could do the stats all that you want to do them. By some, it depends how many you qualify in the three-point shooting. By some measures, he's the worst three-point shooter in the league, and he is the 3rd worst free throw shooter in the league.
Right.
3rd from the bottom in free throw percentage. What is he now? He's plummeted to 67%. It's just hard to overcome that trifecta.
So in other words, you turn the ball over, you're inefficient, and you miss free throws when they foul you.
And you miss free throws. Well, it's just hard to win with that. And yet, it was widely reported that LeBron wanted him gone at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And yet, we all know that LeBron wanted undone what he did, because by all accounts, he was the one who vetoed the Buddy Hield deal from Sacramento and said, no, we got to go with
Magic
Russ.
said Russ called AD and LeBron. Called him LeBron.
And by the way, AD deserves some culpability because he also blessed adding Russ.
Oh, yeah. You running things by both of them.
I had a longtime NBA source who I respect at the highest level tell me while we were on vacation that Russ's skill set is exactly the same as it was in Oklahoma City. This all was happening in Oklahoma City, but he's aged a little bit, so he's lost a little bit of athleticism.
Well, Skip,
and he's lost a whole lot of confidence, because here you can't just keep getting away with it.
Skip, because, see, you could do those things in OKC. You're not doing that thing with the Lakers.
No.
Because the microscope is on the Lakers. It's like Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was joking and carrying on in Orlando. Mm-hmm. He tried to bring that same thing to Orlando.
No.
And Kobe said, get your butt up out of here.
To L.A., yeah.
Excuse me, to L.A. And you see what the media killed him. Dwight Howard was the same guy in Orlando.
Guy. Agreed.
He was the same guy in OKC, he was the same guy in Houston, the same guy in Washington.
He was.
The only difference was the expectation and the microscope.
Especially after KD was gone in Oklahoma City. Nobody
expected anything.
Nope. And what did he do? He goes 4 out of 5 years with a triple-double average. It's impossibly great. It's first ballot Hall of Famer, slam dunk. But wait a second.
Think about this. The guy's on his 14, about to be 5 teams in 5 years. Shouldn't that resonate like, hold on, wait a minute. I got the most triple-doubles in history. I've averaged triple-doubles in 4 out of the last 6 years.
Yep.
I'm on my 15th in 5 years. Damn. What's going on? So is it every team that I'm on is their fault? What am I doing that everybody so easily and so readily will get rid of me?
Okay. Yet it was widely reported before the trade deadline, another deal was on the table.
Yeah.
Houston said, we'll take him off your hands, him and his salary, and he's owed $47 million next year. But you take back John Wall's salary, and we want your 2027 first-round pick, which is the only one you have out there in the future.
Until 2030.
And I believe that Jeannie Buss said,
no,
not over my dead body.
They wanted to throw in Christian Wood also, which would have put them over the luxury tax.
Okay.
And they said, we're not going in the luxury tax to be in the play-in game.
Okay. So Jeannie Buss's attitude to me was, okay, LeBron, you wanted him, you're stuck with him.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing to me is that LeBron has convinced Russ that, no, I wasn't, or Rich Paul wasn't trying to trade you to Houston before the deadline, because Russ is still LeBron's biggest cheerleader. When he's on the bench, he's over there cheering. Well, in the end, I've said from the start of the year, he would be much better being there Ginobili coming off the bench. But if he says no, if he flat out says no, what do? Well, do you cut him?
No.
Do you just shelve him? Do you put him on mothballs the rest of the year?
Skip, you see
he is a liability, and he's a liability in the locker room because according to Mark, and both ends of the court, but according to Mark Stein, he's defiant at every suggestion in the locker room, and obviously there have been widely reported stories that there's pressure. I think ESPN started it from the top down to Vogel to just use him off the bench.
But Vogel knows, after having conversations with him, and how defiant he's been, Skip, you might as well just release him.
Okay,
if you put him in this
you're going to lose him, and who cares? like it would be a good thing to lose him.
Well, Skip, you're gonna have to do it like they did Drummond. Say, look, until we find a trade or until we determine to buy you out, just don't even worry about it. You can't, Skip, you can't have him come around. Skip,
okay, that was when Drummond was in Cleveland. Yeah,
right.
They just mothballed him. They just said, okay.
Or like Blake Griffin when he was in Detroit until they find. Skip, that's the only way, Skip. You can't.
I still say you're better off without him. That's why you said no to the John Wall deal, and I said I don't even care about John Wall. It's addition by subtraction.
Yeah, but I'm saying, Skip, and I understand Jeannie Buss. Jeannie Buss, like, man, Skip, if they were, let's just say for the sake of argument, they were 10 games over 500, and they needed to make this trade. I'm sure Jeannie Buss like, okay, we entrenched at the 4th seed.
Yep.
Okay, fine. I don't mind going into the luxury tax. But, Skip, I'm not going to luxury tax for a play-in, and we might not even make that.
You might not.
So you mean to tell me and then I'll be a repeater, which means I got to pay double?
Yeah.
Nah, I can't do that.
Hey, it has come to this.